So this is Studio Photography Insights. Today we won't have Dave Nietzsche with us. He's traveling, and unfortunately his internet connection not really good. But today we have special guest features, so I'm excited. We have Bill Cahill with us, and yep, here he is. And I guess we can start from kind of interviewing Bill, because this for me his work, and it's very interesting. And then we'll go to our critic session, and that review of the submissions. It was really hard assignment, not just Flash, but emotions Flash. So it will be interesting. So Bill, I know. Well, I think I read a little bit, but I'm not sure if I remember everything from there. Can you tell me how you started from? I know you graduated from some art institute or in LA, right?
It's a school. It's called Art Center College of Design. It's in Pasadena.
Yeah. So how you get from there to what you have now? I mean, you're working for all those high-profile clients. Well, BP, Coca-Cola. You probably know much better than me. The whole list. So just in general, how you get there? Can you just?
Well, yeah, it was a long road, and I'm still not where I want to be, but it's getting there. I graduated in the mid-'90s from Art Center, and then I started. I live here in LA, and I started assisting some people here, and I knew I wanted to do more work in splash photography. And at that time, we didn't do digital; it was all film, and we shot all 4x5 mostly, transparency film. And so I assisted a guy here in LA. He's still working, Jack Anderson. I don't know if you have seen his work. It's a little old school. His work looks a little bit dated now. He's kind of been doing the same thing for a long time. But he's still good. He gets great clients. He does a lot of work for Budweiser, a few other people. But so I worked for him for about 5 years full time, and that was great. And I learned a whole bunch. And that's where school was good, but assisting is where I really started to learn what I needed to learn. Right. And assisting on jobs with big clients, and we did some got milk campaigns, and we did stuff for Coca-Cola and Budweiser and a bunch of different people. So, I learned a lot of what I needed then, and then I quit working for him because I got a rep. I actually got his rep. She started repping me. And then, let's see, I stopped working for him, and I still didn't get much work. So I was freelance assisting for a year or two. And then I got my first studio after that, and I didn't really have much equipment. Mostly for jobs, I would rent all the equipment that I needed. I had a few things, but not really everything I wanted. And then, I just started getting a little bit more work here, a little bit more work there, and I'd just constantly keep working on what I was doing and trying to improve the splashes and product photography and everything. And, just started getting more and more work.
I see. So you basically started from, I start sharing your portfolio just to let people know you a little better if somebody doesn't know you. So so you started more from photography. You start shooting just for yourself, like for portfolio, and then representative was kind of trying to present your portfolio to clients, right? And then for portfolio. I mean, that's where I started. While I was assisting full time, in the evenings and on the weekends, I would use the studio space that I worked in and shoot my own stuff and shoot it for portfolio detail.
shoot it for portfolio and shoot everything I could. I knew my work wasn't where it needed to be to get commercial work. I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to work in advertising, and I wanted to work for good clients. So I just kept working towards that, and yeah, I mean, and to this day, I shoot every week, and I try to get 3 portfolio shots done a week if I can, if I'm not shooting for jobs. So yeah, I'm always testing, shooting whenever I can. So.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah. Why product advertising photography? Did you try to shoot people? Was it interesting for you, or how you kind of completely jumped to this? Just.
Well, yeah, I know. When I started school, I thought I wanted to be a fashion photographer, and I did a couple terms of that, but yeah, I don't know. I didn't feel like the images were my own. I didn't do well talking to the models. I didn't. I'm just not a. I've never been a big people person. I like my products, and I like to work, and I love my clients. It's like today we shot 10, 11 hours of Red Bull, and I had great clients, and 3 or 4 people come to the shoot, and we have a good time, and we shoot all their product, and I love doing that. But as far as shooting people, I'm not. Yeah.
It's more talking than shooting. I feel the same, and I kind of feel that I need to. It's not more about photography skill, but more like how to get that emotion from that person. But that's the hardest thing for me to get it.
Yeah. No, I just give me a product, I'll be fine. So.
I'm just wondering, is it all product and advertisement shooters like this?
I don't know. Yeah, I know there's a couple really great product shooters that also shoot a lot of people too, but not very many of them.
I see. Do we have what do you do when you get like boring shots? If you have any boring, I don't know, for example, if you shoot if you don't for catalogs, or something which is not technically or not challenging for you. Do you shoot this, and how you handle it? Are you fine with it?
No, I do that, and I'm happy to do it because that helps pay all the bills and helps.
Right. So.
I've got studio rental and I've got everything else, and my.
How many people working for you?
No, I have a studio manager, and then I have a studio manager and assistant, and then I hire assistants on a freelance per job.
And the retoucher, do you hire him? Somebody to retouch? The retoucher, the Photoshop.
That's mostly per project. I either hire a person for my own stuff. I do it, or I have my studio manager is pretty good. So we do it that way.
I see. I read that you quite often fly to location, and I don't know. I was always thinking that studio photographer kind of prefer to work in studio. Is it same for you? Are you feeling comfortable to doing work on somewhere else on different locations? Different cities.
No, I enjoy it. It is a lot more stressful than being in my own space. But I shoot in New York and Chicago a fair amount, and I've kind of got down what I need to bring, which is pretty much everything. I rent all
it's so many things. I kind of think how.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's very specific stuff, right? You cannot rent it. You can rent camera, but all this little thing you have.
Yeah, no, I rent lights and I rent all that stuff, right. But the big stuff, or the little stuff, it's like I have my rigging stuff and my cards and this, and it's like, even just you forget hot glue or you forget scissors or something, and you're on set and you have to go send someone to go get them. It's frustrating, yeah.
Right.
But I have I have kind of a system down, and I have a space. I have a space that I rent that I like to rent out of in New York, and they work out really well. And this next month it's going to be challenging. I have a shot in photo shoot in London that I need to do, and that's a completely different thing. You know, because you know, I'm not sure. I have to get flexi tanks made in London, and
so why don't they fly to your location? I mean, they just reluctant to do this? I mean, because you potentially can get better results when you shoot.
Hi,
Hi, Timothy. It's some noise coming. Can you?
Okay, let me just.
Thank you.
What I well, what it is most of the time, it's either convenience for them, or it's a cost factor where they have. You know, I recently did a job in New York, and I mean, it was literally 9 or 10 people that needed to be at the shoot that live in New York, and they didn't want to fly everyone out, and they didn't want you know, to put everyone up in hotels, and they're coming from, you know, you've got the ad agency, and you've got the client, and you've got you know, retoucher there, and you've got this person and that person, and it's just more convenience for me. I tell all my clients, it's like I don't charge them for travel. I shoot as a local in New York and Chicago. So, and that makes it convenient for them because a lot of times, especially over the last couple of years, I bid with local people. I bid against New York photographers. So they don't have travel in their budget, so I don't put travel in my budget either. So it's more of a matter of being apples to apples. I don't want them to feel like it's hard for them to use me because I'm in LA.
I see.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, definitely makes sense. What about, do you have situation when you client want you to shoot some specific way, and you don't like it, and you're thinking that it will be better, especially, you know, something creative like a splash? It's hard to, you know, predict. Are you trying to convince them to, or you represent maybe a different approach to this, and do you feel comfortable shooting their way at the end still?
Well, it's difficult. I don't get a whole lot of that. What I get is they'll come to me with the comp and an idea, right. And what happens 90% of the time is they want my take on it. They're hiring me for my style to shoot it, and I'll show them ahead of time what it's probably going to look like. It depends on the job, but if it's a splash, I usually test for a couple days and show them different parts and how I envision it going together. And I put my best case together, like this is why I think it should be shot this way. 99% of the time they say, that's great. You know, and then some of the times they say, well, you know, we want a little bit of this or we want that. And I say, okay, yeah, I can see that. We compromise and do this. And very rarely do they say, you know, we want it, you know, one way that's really horrible. But then again, occasionally I shoot some catalog stuff. I shoot for Tag. They make these GPS dog collars for dogs. And I mean, it's boring. It's just on white. It's just a soft box. Mm-hmm. But they pay good, and you know, it's just it's fine. And honestly, I don't really, you know, I want it to be good photographed, and it's good in its own way for being a product shot on white. But you know, I'm never going to show that as portfolio material. Right. I don't care.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to ask you a little bit, few technical questions about your photos, but maybe you guys want to ask Bill about the kind of business side of job, if you want. No?
Yeah, I have a question. Okay.
Sure.
Bill, how did you start out, and how did you start to? Did you already answer this question?
Yeah, it was my first question.
All right. Well, I guess specifically, how do you approach clients, or do you approach clients for jobs?
Yeah. No, that's a good question. We generally you generally don't approach a client. They usually approach me or my rep about a project because it makes no sense. I mean, I do a lot of marketing. I send out mailers 4 times a year. I advertise in Workbook. I have my website and this and that. And what happens is, since I work for advertising agencies, they have a project. Let's say, like I shot today for Red Bull, and last week they contacted me because they said, oh, our client says we need 8 shots of Red Bull cans, and they contact me, and I put together a bid. Send them the bid. They say, oh, it's a little too high. Can we have it for this? I'm like, yeah, sure. You can have it for that, and then we shoot for it. I mean, I've been shooting for Red Bull for several years, and they're a good client. We don't really go through the whole process anymore, but yeah, they have to find us because it makes the hardest part is getting them to know that I'm out there, and that's the hardest part for any photographer, I think, is getting them to know they're out there. And when they have a project that they need to have photographed, having them think of you first is the holy grail of advertising.
It's relatively a small market. I mean, the market may be big, but there are not many advertisement product photographers, right, out there. I mean, on that level, maybe like 10, 15.
Well, for splashes, I'd say it's 10.
Yeah.
And for product, yeah, there's a fair amount, you're right. I bid against the same people all of the time, and it's frustrating, especially when I lose a job to someone I've lost a job against, 10 times, and.
And you probably know this guy very well, right? I mean, who you lost a job from.
Oh yeah, no, I mean. Lately, it's been Peter Shafrick. He's been killing me. I've lost several jobs to him, and I look at it and I adjust. I say, well, is it my problem, or what is the problem that I haven't gotten these last couple jobs? And maybe I try to improve my portfolio and work on certain sections. Like right now, I'm trying to broaden the scope of what I shoot. I want to shoot makeup, and I want to shoot fashion accessories and this and that. So, and that's what I work on now. So,
so it's not always price.
It's almost never price, because what happens is the ad agency, they contact us, and the ad agency, they have their client, which is, if you're shooting for Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola is the client, and then Saatchi is the ad agency, and they have to triple bid the project. They have to bid at least 2 or 3 other photographers for the same project. So they bid everyone, and many times they say, you're the favorite, we want you, you're worth $5,000 more than this other guy, can you come down? And I say, of course, or they say, we balance out the different numbers, so everyone ends up being on the same playing field. They have a budget. They say we have to complete this project for this amount of money, and I say, okay, I'll make it for that amount of money. And I mean, it depends if they're asking. They know what they're doing, these ad agencies. They know how much projects cost. They don't ask for 1,000 shots for, hardly any money. They know exactly how much it's going to cost and what they need and everything. So.
Yeah. So it's mostly about style. Like they basically selecting by style, by photographer, maybe by some personal preference. If they work before with you, they may kind of.
Well, it comes down to usually personal, my style, and then it comes down to personality. We have a creative call with the clients and the ad agencies, and you have to connect with the art director and be personable and be nice and
That's
you know.
probably hardest part. No, is it the hardest part of the shoot? Because
Yeah,
for me, it's always the part.
Well, it is because you know the my numbers are going to be where they need to be, and I can't do anything more about my portfolio at the time. So the last variable is personality. So yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so let's maybe talk a little bit about some of your shots. Are you ready to unveil the secrets? Or
Yeah, sure. Not much of a secret.
Okay. So this is your last one, right? The vodka.
Yeah, vodka. Yeah. That's my
I
last.
see a lot of. So is it a vodka, water, or maybe some like thicker stuff going around? What's the
Yeah,
liquid?
that's all water.
Just water. Okay.
Yeah, that's all water.
And it's like how many shots are here? Because I see it should be several, many splashes or.
Yeah, we did probably. Let's see. I think for the bottle it's probably 4 or 5, and then actually we got the base, the main part where it's splashing out. Probably I think that was just 1 or 2 shots. We got that right away, and then it was just a matter of getting the bottle looking the way we wanted it to look with the water. We wanted it to look like the bottle, for the most part, was just turns into liquid as a flash, just kind of turns into liquid, and it's just going to splash down and make a big mess.
So basically, you were throwing water on that on the bottle, right?
Yeah, this was not that hard. It was, I had to find the right way to get the water on there, but it was for the most part just what was it? Just a cup, and I would hold it right next to it, and and just pour the water down. We get the right section and the left section and the top.
I see.
And then we did a few where we splashed, so we get some pieces coming off. And come from the back and just really nail it, so we can get the pieces coming off.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, cool shot. What about, well, this is not liquid, let's keep it. I know a little bit about this because you already told it in the interview. It was like that transport mannequin, right? And you are pouring the water. Yeah. What about this? The left one, is it some kind of oil? What is it? Or
no. These are, well, there's 2 shots. There's left and right. And that's exactly how it was shot. And even with the shadow, I had it directly over a surface.
And so it's real shadow. Well,
it's real shadow. And that's coffee.
Coffee.
The idea was coffee and milk. And we tried all different kinds of liquids just to see what it looked like. And let's see, that was with my hands. And I held the coffee. I made a cup. I don't know if you can see me. I made a cup with my hands and held it directly above the surface. And then I just moved my hands, and my assistant snapped the shot.
Wow. Yeah, that's similar how I did that butterfly, but it's completely different result. It's cool.
Yeah.
Nice. What about this one I've seen? This just a splash, right? The big splash.
Yeah, just ice and a big splash.
I see ice. Okay, yeah. So ice plus splash, and then. But ice was just a regular small cube, but you can enlarge it, right? I mean, you did it.
No. That's how big it was. That's the actual size.
Oh, that's actual. Whoa, I see.
No, I've got a place here that sells photo ice, which real ice that's clear.
Oh.
So you can get perfectly clear ice, and then it's just a matter of shaping it and putting a few cracks in it in specific places.
I see. Is it in LA? That place they sell this ice. I mean, in LA?
Yeah, pretty much any real just ice place, I think, has clear ice. At least in LA. I don't know about other places, but
I see.
yeah.
This colored water, right? What do you use for coloring?
Food coloring.
Food coloring, same. Okay.
Yeah.
I have this shot. Let me check for it. How you throw the liquid? Is it water here? And the most interesting, the shape of it. What do you use to throw it? Do you have any special device or?
Yeah, no, that one. So let's see. The water is vertical. We shot that vertically. And what I use to do that, I have a pour. Let me see if I have. What did I use for that? Let me see if I can find it.
Sure.
All right. Let's see. Can you see me?
Yes.
So I've got this box that I made, or let's see, I had a plexi guy make it, and it has this plate on the back end.
Mm-hmm.
So it pours out of here, and then the way I get that shape is I use a fan from behind it.
I see.
And the fan, what it does is opens up those spots. You see those kind of bulbous?
Yeah, that was the most kind of, that's what I couldn't get. How you got those kind of bulbs blowing, I see now.
Yeah, all it is it's blowing. You have a fan, very, very low power on the fan, just a light breeze. Mm-hmm. And what it does is if the water has any width to it, it catches the water. And, I mean, it's like a hundredth of a second from this frame to when the water just explodes and kind of disintegrates.
I see.
So you have to catch it just right.
Mm-hmm. Amazing technique. I see now, and probably similar here.
Yeah, similar.
What about that one where the chocolate, the one with milk and chocolate and big? Couldn't find it. Where is it? Maybe some kind of cow's milk and the chocolate all around. Wow, amazing.
I
couldn't find it. Was it real chocolate? Because it has thickness and even those little things like.
No, that's brown paint.
Oh, brown. Wow. Somehow you got it. I remember I was using latex, but probably I put too much water. It didn't look like chocolate that much.
No, I think I was using that one. Yeah. Tempera paint. Do you know tempera?
Tempera?
Tempera paint. Hold on. Let me.
It's a water-soluble paint, Alex. They use it. School kids use it all the time.
Oh, I see. Well, okay.
It comes as a powder. You can mix whatever color you want.
And then it's thickness, right?
Yep.
I see.
Yeah, I actually get it as a liquid, but this is.
Okay, I see tempera.
This is blue, but and it's got kind of a matte surface. If you can see on the brown, it's a little bit of a matte surface. It's not super shiny.
Right. That's what I kind of got the idea that it's chocolate, because that's how it look. In real.
Even when it's wet, it has a little bit of that look.
I see.
Was that shot vertically?
Yeah, I think so. Probably. Let's see. Yeah. No, it's shot vertically, and I glued the bottle. I glued the bottle to a plate and held it. That was horizontal. Mm-hmm. And then so I could have it hitting the bottle. And then I used.
Was it combo shot still, or it's like almost? Well, at least the bottle and where the splash hits it. Is it like one shot? You got it like this?
Well, each strand is a different shot. Mm-hmm. And then I got one good shot of the left where it's coming over the bottle, and then on the right where it's coming over. Then the right side is another shot, and then all those little droplets are another shot. And,
mm-hmm.
You know.
I can imagine this cleaning. You drop it, you need to clean the bottle. You drop it again, you need to clean the bottle again. And it's like, how many times? 50, 100 times?
It took a couple days, yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever shoot with 35 millimeters camera? I see you have that medium format, the large for view camera. What
Yeah,
about
No,
what about other equipment you have?
No, I bought my first 35 millimeter year before last. I bought a 5D. I use it on vacations, but never for a job. I've always used a medium format back, and before that I used 4x5 film.
I see, but the medium format back is mounted on view camera with manual focus, manual everything, right? Even shutter. Do you cock it yourself? What kind of lens is that?
Yeah, no, they're Cahill shutters, and I use Schneider Digitar lenses.
Oh, okay, so it has it's electronic, right? Or no?
No, they're digital. They're called Digitar because they're made for digital backs. They've got a finer resolution.
Okay, but it's not the shutter. It's not that electronic shutter, because I think they have some electronic shutter as well, right?
They do, and they're crap. Yeah, I don't like them.
Oh, really? Okay, because I was kind of thinking about Sinar first, and then because they have that integrated system where it's all.
Well, the digital shutters are horrible for splashes because there's a delay. To trigger them, there's a delay, so it works. Mine are all mechanical, and when I hit the cable release, it goes when I know it's going to go when it's going to go. So.
I see. Right.
Or either that, or I'm either triggering it manually, or I use a laser to do it.
Yeah, I remember I asked you one time. Yeah, I'm still waiting for my trigger trap device.
Oh yeah.
Supposed to be, yeah. Because so far everything by hand. Excellent. So guys, do you have any questions? I guess we can move to our assignments. No, we're fine. Okay. So Bill, let's review. Just spend some time on each shot. I'm going to share my screen, and if you give us our input, it will be even cool. Okay? Thank you. Let's go. Okay. So this is, the order is not how it was submitted. Anyway, that's how I got it. Unfortunately, not everyone put name on the file number, but at least they have some names. So Anthony, so the idea, I don't know, Bill, did you know that? It was emotional kind of splash. So splash with some emotion which is supposed to, play. It was from Dave, so it was hard for a technical guy like me and probably some of you guys. Yeah. So we got this. I don't know. We don't have Dave. I can't talk about emotions, but it's cool. It's cool concept, like turn photograph, right? And I don't know. From technical side, I see those reflection on the glass, and if you look at the left one, it looks like I know it's a real shot, right? It's not like a combo, but reflection and glass is a little bit outside with the splash, so it kind of looks a little bit strange. And I would probably add a little bit more light on the splash itself. Well, Bill, what you would say?
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on in this. Besides the photograph, the liquid, is that liquid, or did they put something else in there?
It's liquid, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of, what kind of liquid it was? Tea or?
Iced tea.
Iced tea. Okay, yeah. Probably a little bit more, too much the foam. I don't know.
Yeah, it came out more turbulent than I really wanted, but with the bigger glass, it's actually quite a large glass. It didn't give a nice flow, but.
Yeah, I've seen how you use that octane box on behind. Ideally, probably should be kind of strip box with smaller white areas on both sides. So, but again,
less white.
Yeah, maybe thinner. Not that white. Maybe a little bit narrower opening on the both sides.
Okay.
Reflection. You see, on the right side, I like it better than on the left, because on the left it's kind of, and again, the bottom is not. But liquid looks cool. You shot with a speed light with some battery powered.
An Einstein from behind, and then I had another from the front to light up the photograph in the liquid.
I see. Well, looks cool. Thank you. Let's move. This one. It's pretty cool. Kind of splash with two lollipops going around. We don't have. Who should do we have? AKELstudio? Leon? No. Anyway, I like it, and probably the only thing from technical side, I would clean the either sensor or the photo, because I see this little spots on the background, one from sensor, big piece on it. But basically, I don't know, pretty cool. Bill, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think the red looks a little bit dark, and maybe the splash could be a little bit more dynamic, or right. We're seeing the side of the splash, so it's kind of hard. It'd be nice if there's if the splash looked like it was kind of emanating from that collision, but yeah, it's kind of a nice idea, and yeah, the background needs to be cleaner.
Yeah, cleaner. It's probably can be addressed for many images here. Let's say this one. Celebration. Pretty cool concept. I don't like framing. I don't know why it's in the center. It's pretty symmetrical, the whole setup, but probably we need to have it symmetrical. And it would really look nice if it have almost white background, because all the shadows, I don't remember, I don't know how many light sources a photographer had for this, but if it's possible, I would fix the background either in Photoshop or maybe use more lights on it. Cleaner glass itself, all those little splashes on the glass on the bottom ones, right? It's probably hard to get it clean because it was deep in, but Photoshop again, if needed. What else? Bill, what do you think?
Yeah,
it's a little bit. Yeah, go ahead.
It just looks kind of messy, you know. The surface is messy. The idea is neat, and I think it could be executed well if it was, the glasses looked a little bit better. It was framed, I think, differently. I would like to see it maybe a lower angle or something on this. And the lighting, the lighting needs to be, if you're going to do something symmetrical like that, I would probably do the same with the lighting, is make it symmetrical. And light from both sides, from behind, instead of just one side, and do something interesting with it. It's a little bit plain as far as lighting goes. So.
Yeah, and plus I noticed that you may not see there, but I see those dips. The splash duration was not short enough. It has a motion trail, and I don't know what kind of flash it was, the mid-strobe. But definitely it should be shorter duration. But again, I guess photographer used here what he had. So this one, well, not sure about the motion, but it looks pretty cool, especially like green on orange background. I like that. I don't like why when it's kind of blurred, the splash, the most of it. Blurred, so again the flash duration wasn't enough. Bill, you use brown color, right? For the
I use brown color.
Yeah, and I remember I was asking how much it can freeze a lot of stuff. I mean, the 1/4000 of a second, I think it was like 1600 watt second at that flash duration.
Yeah,
that's 1/1000. That's what you can get. It's huge.
Yeah, the shot's good. It's a good idea. It needs to be. You need to stop the water, but it's like shots like this. They sell all the time on stock photography. If this is on Getty, this type of stuff sells. If it was just sharper and. Yeah,
it just should be. I remember. I was starting from. Oh, by the way, did you shoot for stocks? Did you try, Bill?
I submit some of my stuff to stock. I probably have 150, 200 images on stock, and I don't try to do it, but I get a check every month, and
Yeah, I guess you have Yeah, when you shoot splashes, you have a lot of like byproduct right from the splash,
Yeah.
which can be submitted.
Yeah, I know. I do a test, and I'll I can't do products for stock, but
Right.
if I shoot something, then it doesn't have a product in it, I'll submit it for stock and make money off of it.
Yep. Okay, the execution. Well, cool idea, but the problem, the blood, I didn't notice it first at all. Then I was thinking, where is the execution? Then I noticed the blood splash coming from guy's back, that poor little guy. And it's too dark. It's just too dark, and well, it should be lit probably from behind as well to see that. But other than that, it's pretty emotional, I would say, if you have a little bit more blood. Bill, you see that I'm talking about? You see that blood little?
I don't see it at all on my screen.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, it's a little dark. So.
But I actually kind of like the lighting on the guy. It's dark and moody. If we could just see the splash, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, true. This one, I know, I like it. I like this shot. It's just great. The motion and the execution, the perfect splash in it, and even that white center of it. A blue background, I don't know. For me, I couldn't critic because I don't. Maybe the only thing I see that a little bit transparency on the splash itself, and I see the texture of the paint. But again, it's probably completely fine. Bill, what do you think? I don't know. Maybe you don't see it that well, but
yeah, it's nice. I mean, I might do a little extra light on the top back of it just to bring out some definition in that splash to see that crown. But other than that, yeah, it's nice.
Okay, yeah, cool shot. Okay, this one, fresh kill. Well, I like how knife looks like, and I mean, I think it's very good product shot even without that blood. Well, the background is good. Again, maybe it should be a little bit kind of softened because I see some texture, but again, it looked pretty good like this. The fresh kill, well, if it's supposed to be blood, it's a little bit too bright for the blood, but other than that, it looks cool and pretty emotional, scary. Bill, what did you think?
Well, I like the knife. I saw the knife earlier on his post. I think he had one where there's another little highlight right in the middle. That'd be kind of cool. But what I was hoping that this shot would come out as is there would be blood everywhere, like like you hit an artery and it's just like hitting the knife and it's spraying and it'd be crazy. It's a little subdued for me. And yeah, the blood needs to look different. It needs to. I have a bunch of fake blood. Just a second.
Bill's blood.
I don't know where it is right now. But, yeah, fake blood is darker, it's deeper, and it's not as transparent, I don't think.
Yeah, but what kind of blood are you using? Is it?
I don't know. My son got it. It was from a special effects company.
Oh, I see.
It looks great. It looks really, really neat.
Yeah, the only blood I tried, I didn't have a shot, I didn't get it, but from that Party City on the Halloween, they selling the blood cans, and it's pretty thick and, looks pretty good, but like again, I didn't have chance to test it well, I mean, on the splash side. Okay, this one, Grief. Well, cool idea, and even the execution pretty good, except things I would fix probably a little bit too bright, the forehead of that skull on top. We're losing some texture. We didn't see much on it because it's a little bit like front light or how it was done. Plus the splash, I see those little particles of the kind of blood around that mask, which is on the bottom, and it's almost it looks like almost dust. I think it either should be more of this, so it will be more kind of visible, or it should be cleared. What else? Yeah, Bill, maybe more blood.
I agree with that. Yeah, it's too bright. that the backlight, it's a little bit, it's a different color, and it's a little bit bright. But I think what would be nice, again with this one, is if there was more blood and if there's more. If you're going to go gore, you need to go for it. I don't understand the mask. It's like whatever that theater mask is below. I think, you know, I mean, the first thing that pops into my head is, what if you did like a mirror image of, you had two skulls and blood shooting from out one eyeball into another eyeball of the other skull. You could do some cool stuff. You know, but I think, you know, I think bigger, more dramatic.
Yeah, it's not enough blood here for sure, and especially that little drop from skull. It looks cool, but maybe a little more. For some reason, we want more blood. I don't know. Okay. So Steve, it's yours, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's muted.
I don't know if you noticed in the picture. You know, I posted on the blog.
It looks funny, and it's definitely. Yeah, this one, right? Yeah. What kind of liquid is it?
That's water.
Because it's kind of. Did you do some morph, like change the shape of it? Because I couldn't kind of even recognize the splash, right? It was.
The eyes, the basic form came out like that. The only thing I did is cut one piece off the corner, and I just copied it and reversed it.
I see. And the background is real, right? You got it from that snoot, or is it?
Yeah, well,
or it's.
I redid the background in Photoshop because the one I had on the snoot, I had it on an angle, and it came out elongated at the bottom, and I wanted it really round, so I put a new background on
so,
that.
Yeah, for some reason, like, probably used too much that. Well, I don't see the texture of the liquid here. You know, it's like it's even sometimes it's even hard to tell that it was, you know, liquid. Probably you did a little bit too much of stretch. I don't know, but again, or maybe it's.
No, the eyes I didn't stretch at all.
Stretch at all? That's well, maybe because of background, maybe because it's kind of hanging, but it looks cool. I see.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a splash shot, but yeah, the liquid looks cool. I mean, if it looked more liquidy, you know, that could be it could be cool. But it's two forms, I think. I mean, it's neat. So is this how did you get the form then?
I used like a small bowl, and I had it full, and I just dropped it at once, and it gave out some nice forms. And I also tried, I think the mouth, I had the water in a small plate, and when I made a swooshing motion, and it came out like really wide.
So the eyes and the mouth, that's not water. There's water all around it, and then that's the whole.
No, that is just the eyes. It's one shot that I took from the splash that I got from pouring the liquid from the bowl. Like I dropped the liquid from the bowl.
Right.
And
so it's real splash, right?
Well, it came out with square edges. I don't understand.
Yeah, because when I dropped the liquid, I don't know, it came out really thick. It all came down all at once.
Okay.
What kind of liquid? Was it water?
Yeah.
I see. You know, I think I know. That's why Bill started asking you if you would have more stuff, you know, more little like droplets or something which is kind of connected to that big splash. It will look more splashy probably, especially that the mouth. I don't know. Maybe did you clean it at least for the mouth, or it was?
Yes, the mouth I did a reshape a bit because it was much. It actually made the mouth, and it was kind of reversed on the other side, like making another mouth. But I cut it off.
Yeah, it's too symmetrical, I guess, to be like real splash. It's hard, like our, brain tells you, oh, it's not splash because it can be like this. So maybe you would have to put more real splash, not symmetrical, with some droplets, little one close to it, and it will probably look, I don't know, more splashy. But it's cool. I like the concept.
Yep.
Okay, let's jump to this one. Really good shot, especially, the only thing I would fix there, put it on the center and, like strengthen a little bit with glass. But I like the lighting, the white on the background, blue probably from top on a, somewhere bottom. No, looks like a bottom. What I would also do, I will fix background, make it more like maybe whiter, or at least clean it so it won't be any spots, on it. But other than that, pretty nice. I don't know how much emotion, but the shot technically, I think, very good. Bill, what do you think?
Yeah, it's nice. I like you said, straighten it, and I'd probably up the contrast a little bit, get those whites going. But it's good.
Yeah. This one from Ron. That's pretty. I don't know, Bill. Did you see how Ron got this?
No.
It's. Let me show you. It's pretty cool thing. Just a moment. I'm going to.
You put a tank over the iPad, or?
Yeah, it's Ron's here. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me load it pretty fast.
So how did you get exposure for the? Let's see, is it blurry or? I'm just wondering how because you need a longer exposure for the iPad and then a fast.
Yeah, I think because Ron, you muted. Is it like dog's still barking? Yeah, I see that thing you're showing. Okay, dog is barking. So I'm going to show you how we did it. Just a moment. I'm connecting this, and I'll
there we go. Now I'm unmuted.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Anyway, I built this thing on a piece of acetate, and then it's got a little plexiglass 1-inch high ridge around it. Yeah. And then I put this on the iPad surface, and then filled this with about a 1/4 inch of water. So I kept the iPad clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is shot from the lighting setup and the shot receiver that you have on an iPod on top of it.
And you can see there, when I was actually taking the shot of making the shot, I was still dripping water, but the water was continuous drip. I had it dripping about, I don't know, they're about 6 inches apart. The drips are some little more than that, maybe apart. So they were just continuously coming down.
Yeah.
And then I kept trying to time it with the timer until I got the ring of a splash ring as opposed to the straight up and down thing. I got a good 100 shots of this, of all varieties of splashes.
Right. And this is what you got, right? This one.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, that you can see the iPad under that, but barely.
Yeah.
What I liked about that was the fact that the icon that was directly under the splash comes up into the splash wall.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then if I had it to do over again, I probably would have shot the splash against a white background all by itself. It would have been a hell of a lot easier to put onto the iPad.
You can do that, or you can do if you shoot it onto just a really black background in overlay. You can put it on in Photoshop in overlay mode, and the black will fade away. And
yeah, I tried that. I had some on a dark background, but it wasn't quite black. It was gray. Because the flash kept bouncing back up from and lighting the piece. I had a black piece of plasticware underneath it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you need velvet works really well for making things black.
Right. Yeah, but the thing that I discovered out of the shot that gave me more trouble than anything else was my model's hand sucked. It's right here, and it sucked.
Yeah.
I spent almost a half an hour just on trying to get the damn little scratch marks and things that are in my hand permanently out of the picture just to make them go away. Because when you do it close up, it all shows up.
Oh, I know. Yeah, hand models. I'm so jealous of hand models. They make so much money for doing so little work.
Yes. Well, I'm willing to find one now because I know I'm not ever going to be a hand model.
Yeah.
Yeah, but cool shot. Yeah, I don't know, Ron. Did you try to put light kind of in front of camera so it will hit behind on the splash? Because I seen the splash and it has that big highlight on the right from that little speed light.
Yeah, that I actually shot it from the back side first, say 45 degrees coming at the back, and then I shot straight across it, then I shot from 45 from the front. And it was between the 45 from the front and straight across where I seemed to get the best result. And what I mean by that is I was more consistent on catching the splash because I could see it.
Right. Yeah, it's hard to repeat it, I see, even if you change light and then, you know.
I set my flash down to like 1/28th power, 1/128th. So I figured it would go off as fast as it would go.
You know, when I was using speedlights, I found that everything below 1/8 is good for freezing splashes. So it's probably 1/8 of the power from Canon speedlight will give you somewhere around 1 of 3,000 of a second. I mean, it's kind of estimate because it was freezing most of the splashes for me. So 128 is pretty good. It's 1 of 30,000, I guess, second or something.
It did. I pretty much froze almost there. I had some really cool-looking splashes that came out. I couldn't use them for various reasons, but I had some things I'd never seen before. It froze.
Cool. Okay, so let's jump to this one. Tim got Truth. How you call it? The name of that, Tim? What the name of this shot?
The title is "Truth Cannot Be Suppressed," or is it contained?
Is it you?
That's my brother.
Oh,
yeah.
That's fun. Pretty cool splash, and the concept kind of very interesting. Well, what I would do different? I don't know. I like splash. Maybe some little more texture on the splash, but it's I don't know. It looks pretty cool. Like you know, like some anger coming, some force thrown through it. Bill, what do you think about?
Yeah, I love this shot. It's my favorite one. Is the idea the splash is coming from
out of his head?
Out of the what?
Out of the figure's head. Well, the truth, you see the duct tape over his mouth. He's being kept from speaking, but the concept is that truth, even when you suppress it, finds a way to make itself known. And in this case, the water, or you know, the pure truth is coming out of the back of his head.
Oh, okay.
Bill, if you want, I send this link to the image on the chat. You can open it so you'll see on real. I mean, because it's crappy anyway when it's on.
The only thing that bugs me is the hand behind. I keep looking at that, but
okay.
If that was like lower, the black just continued down or something. But that's a great shot. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Tim. Okay, this one. I forgot who did it.
Yeah, it's me again. It's just,
you. Yeah, it's like second.
Yeah, because the first one, Have a Nice Day shot, I did that for like personal fun, just to play around. But this was my more serious shot for the emotional splash.
Yeah, splash looks cool. I mean, at least everything is frozen and it's really visible that it's shower. But probably the light and maybe some more dramatic light. It looks kind of nice, but what I would do differently, personally, again, maybe to have a little more shadow and bright areas, you know, on her face. Maybe some screen to make it, or I don't know how I aim in light, but a little bit more drama to this. But looks cool like this.
So you're telling me I should have left the image like it was, because I had a lot more shadows near the cheek, but I brightened it up because it looked awkward a bit.
Well, I'm not sure how you had it. What I would put, I mean, I would shoot it with strip box directly on top of her. The very, very, you know, like narrow strip box. So it will be like that face is bright, but everything which on the side, like you know, the cheeks and will be darker. So something like this. I don't know, Bill. Did you ever shoot people with splash?
No.
No. I've thought about it.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I think something it needs to be. I'm not sure what it is. If it's the tone of the shot, the contrast, or the background, or something about the angle might be a little bit off for me. Of her and the arms and that. It's not. I mean, Yeah, I think it's kind of a nice shot, but it's not doing it a lot for me. But you know, hard to say.
May I comment? I think I like the shot a lot, but I think that it maybe lacks the focus, because in this shot, like, I know I'm supposed to be looking at the splashes, but I'm looking at her. So I'm sort of maybe if the splashes was the point of it, then I'm missing the splashes as a point. And if she's the main subject, then I'm totally getting that. But
it was more about capturing the emotion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the whole thing. Right. Okay, let's move to the next one. It's already 1 hour. Yeah. So, what is the project small? Well, cool concept. I kind of like splash shape, but the whole thing, it's the most disturbing piece is his mouth with that splash where it's connecting. I don't know. Somehow it catch my attention, and it's not something not right there. So either it should be somehow different. I don't know why. That's my feeling. But yeah, pretty cool concept. Some emotion going on, and you know.
It needs to be more integrated. The whole thing.
Right.
I mean, I get the idea that he's trying to, the person and the background is receding and the splash is coming forward, but it needs to be integrated, and I need to feel like, I feel like you shoot the splash is obviously overlaid on the person, but I mean that's how it reads, and it should read that the splash is coming out of the mouth, and it's not, or it's coming out of the sky and into the mouth, but it needs to be more. I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, integrate. It's probably the best thing to characterize it. It's lack of integration. It's to separate it, all the pieces just hanging around. Yeah.
Yep.
Great catch, Bill. Okay, Dave Nietzsche. It was not. I know it wasn't made specifically for this assignment. I think it wasn't made, they said, but I selected it because, well, it's pretty emotional and it has liquid, and well, it's cool shot. I like that's deepin stuff, and what I would do different. Well, I read Bill's post on this, so I'm not going to suggest anything because that's probably what I suggest anyway. So, Bill, let's tell us. I mean, what.
I like it. I understand. I think it's a really nice idea. But what I would do is I think it needs to be more dramatic, and you need to have a lower angle to it. The wine is it's a little bit. The one I saw is a little bit too bright. When you're shooting wine, you don't want it to look like Kool-Aid. That's kind of a big no-no when you're shooting wine, especially for clients. It can't be too saturated, and it's really easy to do when you're shooting red wine. But you want to have glow, but not too much. And let's see, the turbulence. There needs to be more lights on this. I think it's mostly backlit. If you put a box like a soft box or some kind of light up and back at the correct angle, if you're seeing the top of the wine, you can highlight all the ripples by putting a light back there, and then it contours all the ripples, and it really brings a nice life to the wine.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Great.
Stuff like that. It's like I'd like to see a little bit of white specks on the droplets and something on the front, but I don't know. I'm always adding a ton of lights, so that's just me.
Yeah. Yeah, they're cool. I like those, how he drilled those the holes in the glass. Bill, did you ever try to, drill something in the glass, in real glass? I know it's really hard, and Dave discussed with Ron how it's hard, So you did this with beer, right? You mentioned on that comment that.
Yeah, I do. From time to time, I do a lot of my own. I make whatever I need to make a lot of times, and I'll do like I said, I'll do if I'm shooting the neck of a beer bottle and a pour coming out of the beer bottle, I'll fix the beer bottle to something, Dremel off the back of the beer bottle, and the pour. I can just pour through the back without actually having to move the beer bottle. Yeah, so it can stay at the correct angle, and then I can shoot the neck of the beer bottle.
With beer, you use real beer when you shoot beer? You try to use beer? Or?
It all depends. I've used, it depends if we're trying to get some foam or not. Most of the times I'll use real beer, and if we're shooting products, if we're shooting a beer product for the company, most of the time I use beer. Sometimes I'll let it go flat. I'll buy a couple cases and just put them in, put it in a big container and let it go flat for a day or two before the shoot. So I'll have that flat beer and fresh beer, and sometimes I mix it to get the right amount of
the bubbles and that. I see. Cool. Thank you. Okay, so this mine. Well, it wasn't made for this shot. Again, I didn't have time, unfortunately. I had other time, but we composed it this way for the shot, kind of to have a motion. Let's call it rejected, or how you call it, put down, or I forgot how we name it. So, Bill, what critic this? I don't know. If you have something to say.
Looks like what's the red glow behind the red one?
Well, it's supposed to be the shadow under it, and the glow.
Well, oh, okay. No, that's what I was wondering. I was wondering if that's a shadow or what.
Yeah, it was Photoshop shadow, and I think I've seen it much more darker and smaller at some edition, but what I got here, it's like a glow. You're right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't buy the shadow too much. It doesn't. It looks like I don't know. It just looks out of place to me. But
what about shadows for greens ones? They look, I think, look good. I mean, they're telling that it was like intersection, but obviously it was shot different. Splashes, right? Yeah.
The intersection. Yeah, they look. That looks pretty good.
Oh, yeah, I can do like blue so you can see it better. So it will pop up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like the. Yeah, the color. I kind of like the color combination of everything.
Yeah, that's the first time we got that clear food coloring and play with it a little bit. Yeah, and I was using that kind of spherical cup to create that sea shapes.
Oh, okay.
Splashes, and it was like repeatedly. We got many of them different colors. So probably Zhenya, well, she's my wife and she's my post-production guru. We'll do something in future, something cool in Photoshop for this. Okay.
So what cup are you using?
Well, it was, let me show you, it was not, it's like a spherical, let me try to unshare it. It's not, just a moment, I bring it. Okay, so it's not a cup. But the problem with my English, I don't know what is this. What is it?
Oh, a funnel.
Say it again? How?
A funnel.
Funnel. Okay, funnel. Yeah, I know what funnel is, but I never know that it's funnel. So that's how I kind of doing it. That kind of motion.
Okay.
And because it doesn't have anything, it was kind of creating relatively cool splash.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. So this is it. Guys, before I forgot, now we need to think about the next assignment. And I can confess I didn't think about it before. So what you gonna shoot? Bill, maybe you have something for us. Let's give something. I don't know. I know you're not prepared, but same as me. Sorry. I just maybe we can. We already shot. Well, you know, the watch, liquid. We got bottles, several different kind of glass bottles, right? What can we do interesting for next week?
Let's see. You did bottle, watch, water.
Maybe like a beer. We never shoot beer.
You haven't shot like a bottle and glass of beer kind of thing, or?
Never for assignment, and honestly, I don't have beer in my portfolio, so probably it could be a cool thing to do.
Beer's always good to have in your portfolio.
Yeah, that my rep told me several times already. You need to. So yeah. So let's do beer. Let's do beer shot. We can do it with splash or without. It's kind of up to you guys. What do you really want? But let's shot like advertising shot of some beer. Your favorite beer. Okay, it will be our next assignment. And any questions? You all good? Okay, thank you everybody. Thank you, Bill. It was great surprise, and I was really glad to have you here. Yeah, I hope you can join us in the future.
Yeah, my pleasure. No problem.
Enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Thanks.